Greetings and welcome to Bible Talks with Belinda. I am coming to you today to talk to you something that's been in my spirit all week. And as I meditated on it, I thought, well, I should make a YouTube video. Then I slacked off, and then the Lord kept, dealing with me about it. So I was like, well, let me be obedient and make the video. So today I am coming to you. About the topic is the seat of the scornful, and this came to me when I was meditating on. I someone read this. I think I was in a Bible study or prayer meeting, and someone. This was one of the Bible verses that was being read. So I'll read it to you right now. It is Psalms 1, uh, Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 through 3. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor sitteth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And so I realized how much, that's a very popular Bible verse, but how many times I've read that and just skipped over blessed is in nor seated in the seat of the scornful. So I just started to meditate on that word scornful and what is a scorner, right? So someone that is scornful, let's see, we have the definition here. Let's see, define scornful. Someone that is expressing extreme contempt, disdain, insulting, disrespectful, exhibiting lack of respect, rude, and discourteous. All right. So when I think about that, I think to put it in modern day, um, uh, to give you some modern day examples, right? So currently we have what is a gender war going on between the modern man and the modern woman, right? So I'm going to give several examples, and that's one of them. And you have this gender war that's going on to where the men are expressing discontent with women, and women are expressing discontent with men. And so it drives a wedge between the genders, and it forces them to separate to where they would just go their own way. I saw something about that, go their own way, and you know uh just better off being separate, and I guess getting together to uh, satisfy their needs from time to time, and just not even uh, marrying or raising coming together to raising a family. And these type of channels are popping up. I'm just not speaking of the male channels, but also the female channels. And if you notice, a lot of those channels have very high amount of subscribers. Why? Because controversy and hate and all this stuff, it draws people, right? And so the issue with that is that people don't recognize that these are scorners, right? This is the seat of the scorner. You sit it. So notice when in Psalm 1 it says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Notice all these other things that come before the seat of the scorner, that seated not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor seated in the seat of scorners. So all these people, all when you're watching these channels and you're listening to some of this stuff, this is what comes with it, is sin, because they're a lot of them are encouraging you know um sex without marriage. A lot of them are encouraging, ungodly things. So, you know, I think it's important that this spirit of is exposed, right? So I'm guilty as well as watching, because I'm a curious person. So I've watched some of the some of the um some of the videos, and just to understand, I guess, try to understand. Like, I tried to watch, and so my spirit will be like, no, turn this off, right? So because if you get that deep down in your spirit and you really start meditating on it, then eventually that becomes part of what you believe, right? And so we know that, I really do think it's a agenda of the enemy to drive us apart, because what the Bible said, that a nation divided cannot stand. And so that drills down to, a man and a woman, men and woman divided cannot stand, a nation divided cannot stand, a society divided cannot stand. So the more division in any arena, where that be in the gender, so you see a lot of that in the gender segment. You see a lot of division in um race. And notice how, around election time, a lot of stuff about, in the media about race, white man shoots black man, and, white cop does this, that's by design. And we see it in politics. So any kind of way that the enemy can divide us, that is what he will do. All right. So some of these YouTubers, you know, I'll start. Let's see. Some of them are being kicked off different platforms, and some of them are still thriving. And it's not just, and it's just not that. So that was the gender part of it. So if you see, and some of the examples, the talking points are, women from America are no good. Well, that's kind of, um stereotyping, and men from America are no good, or, black men are no good, and another type of man is better than a black man, or, another type of woman is better than a black woman, or, or like I said, just all American men or women are trash, and, these women are better. That is a scornful person. Something has happened into that person's life, to where, maybe they dated several women, in their um, area or whatever, and they have formed of opinion, and now they have, because of these experiences, then now they're coming forward, and they're, spewing this out on to other people, and having other people digest this information. So in politics, I see it in politics. There were some people that I had to stop following, because they started out pretty, sound, and then I could see it just leaning to getting more and more extreme, to the point to where you could tell they had a lot of discontent for, the other party. So, it's just like, gosh, can anybody just, come with a neutral position on anything? I know you can't always be neutral on stuff, but, an unbiased, just kind of sound, middle of the road position on things, right? That's hard to find. And so when you're talking to people, I notice, like, when I talk to people, I hear some of these same talking points, and I'm like, yeah, you could tell it is really sinking into and becoming part of what people believe. Uh, and race. I see more division in race. A lot of the people who do the political stuff are also talking about the racial stuff as well. So, it recently there has been a headline of you know the, I think it was in no, it was in Manhattan. A guy set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial that is going on, right? So this is something, people sitting online all day, listen to ungodly counsel from sinners and, and scornful people. you know, if you digest too much of that, then it will start to deteriorate your mind. Your mind is not, you know, the Bible, that same verse, Psalms chapter 1:3 says, tells us to meditate on the law, on his word day and night. Why? Because you will be blessed and your mind will be, clear and able to distinguish and discern something that is good from something that is bad. Something that you will hear something and immediately you be like, no, you may listen for a little while. I'm guilty of it as well. I'll listen to it for a little while, then I'll turn it off. I'm like, no, this is not something that is sitting right with my spirit. So you'll be able to discern, what your spirit agrees with and what it doesn't. Because if you could sit and listen to that stuff all day and night, it's that is not good. All right. So the guy, and I would highly encourage you not to read his manifesto, because that's that right there is a trick of the enemy to release this spirit of insanity. I did a video about that. If you haven't watched that, watch that video. It's called The Spirit of Insanity. That is the ramblings and the mind of a madman. All right. God bless his soul. Rest in peace and condolences to the family. But that is the ramblings of a madman. And see, what the enemy has done is to, I guess he couldn't get attention to, to make his point. So he, the enemy, got in his head and had him to go out and douse himself with some type of accelerant, and he lit himself on fire. But before he posted this whole manifesto. So do not read that. If you are curious to know what the manifesto said, I would highly recommend you just do something like a top level read of the points that he was making. But do not read that, because that is the ramblings of a madman, and people are going to start making videos about it. You're going to see this man probably eventually become a martyr or something, and that's what the enemy does. Like he will allow people to sacrifice themselves and have this doctrine to release it, do something extreme like this in order to release it to the masses. So people are going to go start searching and reading it, and they are going to start ingesting, and people are going to start doing videos about it. They're going to start making, this guy a martyr. They're going to start, just elevating this guy. So, like I said, if you don't have the spirit of discernment, you won't be able to recognize that. And so, and it's going to cause people to go mad, just like he went mad, and so, that's another reason why I did this video, because I'm like, people are just losing their minds. And it's something that's going around these days, where people are telling other people, go outside and touch some grass. What does that mean? It's kind of a joking way to say, hey, get off of the internet, get off of YouTube, go outside and live real life. Like, go talk to real people, go interact with real people, go and do things with real people, go outside, touch some grass, go walk in nature, and shut this stuff off. The Lord had me for about 4 months where I completely shut down Facebook, Instagram, all those social media sites like that, and I limited YouTube to where I was only watching videos on on you know preaching and things like that. But the Lord dealt with me heavy because I used to watch different different people, and he convicted me about it. It was funny. You watch some of that stuff, and it was funny, but it was just too. And I tried to kind of overlook some of the stuff, but he convicted me too much. Like, no, this stuff is not good to watch, right? All right. So, and I'll name some of the names. These are not all the people, but Kevin Samuels was one of them. Kevin Samuels was a guy that, which I believe, I would say this loosely. Some of the stuff that he said was true, but it was the spirit in which he said it, which was damaging. So you can, have, a good message, but 1% strychnine, that'll kill you, right? So it was like he had a message that needed to go out to bring women into reality, because a lot of them, a lot of women are delusional to a degree, and so I did like that point about it, but the spirit in which he delivered the message was wrong, right? All right, someone else is like Tasha K. I couldn't really get into her too deep. She was hilarious. And so, but she, this is what I'm talking about, the seat of the scornful. She would get on as if she's delivering messages to expose these people, but it's so nasty. Um Larry Reid, the Lord exposed him long ago to me. I couldn't even. I had a hard time when I would watch him. I would just be like, oh, something. And he just popped on my YouTube one day, and even if it's about Christian gospel people, you think, oh, this is what's going. You want to know, what's going on because I was completely ignorant to who he was, right? And the Lord kept. I noticed he had sunglasses on in his videos, and I said, it's something this guy is hiding. I kept saying that. I said something about this doesn't sit right, but they draw you in because why? They have the gift of charisma. Like, you can't deny the gift. That's how these people draw you in. They have the gift, and the Bible says the gift is given without repentance. They have the gift to draw you in, and um they have the gift of charisma, and they have the gift of persuasion, right? So it's like they are supposed to be using these gifts to minister to people, to bring them to the Lord, to be like evangelists and things like that, but they have perverted the gifts. This is what I'm saying. So and I kept saying something's not right about this guy, and it was one video that he did that I caught where he had his shades off. I said, this man is a homosexual. I said it. I said it. I said it. As soon as I saw his eyes, because I had never saw his eyes before, and as soon as I saw his eyes, I said, this guy's a homosexual. And I said that he is exposing other people, but I don't think people realize that this guy is, as soon as I saw his eyes, I knew. All right, people like cynthiag, people like that. I think it was a group called the YouTube video called Fresh and Fit. I'm just giving you an example of the scornful, people who are scornful. And if you sit and you listen to these people talk, and these are just examples of these type of channels that I'm talking about. Um, uh, these are the scornful. All right. So that's just what I wanted to come to you today to discuss and to give you some insight about that. And just know that, you know, um, we are in the end times, and there's a lot of deception going on. There's a lot of manipulation going on, and just to be prayed up, and just like I always in my videos, just know that the gift of salvation is free, and know that it's the best gift in the world. And just know that God loves you, and so do I. God bless.